By 7 a.m. on Friday, 3rd June 2022, Uganda Martyrs Day, pilgrims were already charged for this year's Martyrs Day celebrations at Anglican site and already entering the venue for prayers. Security personnel was on high alert not to leave any stone unturned. Dressed in beautiful church robes, the main celebrant and all the bishops of the Anglican diocese all over the country and beyond were ready to start prayers at about 9 a.m. in the morning. They were led by the main celebrant of the day, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Stephen Kazimba Mugaru. Kazimba decried the current escalating commodity prices, urging businessmen to be considerate as some, he says, take advantage of such situations.
We don't know when the prices will stabilize because most of the causes are beyond our control. We can, however, take consolation in the truth that with Jesus there is always a hope beyond affliction. But some people are taking it far. I heard somebody who was selling bogoya at a high price and asked why? Because of the war between Ukraine and Russia. So the banana is very expensive. So we need really to be considerate. The banana which is coming from the garden behind in our villages here at Chagwe, Bukunja.
The sermon was led by Bishop Samson Maluda, a guest preacher from the neighboring Kenya. He urged Christians to emulate the courage and commitment the martyrs exhibited towards their faith and desist from evils of love for money.
What a challenge to us today when the prevalence of evil practices including sexual immorality, looting of our public resources through corruption, even in Christian nations where majority are Christians, and when these things are happening, those who are not there, as I heard some of them people saying, now that we have got political power, it is our time to eat. It is our time to eat. But corruption is sin.
The chief guest, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who was represented by the Vice President Jessica Alupo, in his message condemned the cruelty and violent acts by the then King of Buganda, Mwanga II, who killed the martyrs in 1885 for refusing to renounce Christianity.
Views Mwanga had on the new religions, i.e. Christianity and Islam, he should not have used violence, especially the violence of killing people, whose results are irreversible. Once heads are cut, they do not grow again. O kushubuka. Mwanga's violence failed to stop the growth of the Christian church and the Muslim faith. We praise God for that because the new religions were further clarifying the principles of good conduct in the human race.
The president appealed to the believers to act and practice what the martyrdom and Christianity means, other than acting outside what Christianity stands for.
I also salute the religious faith for copying the example of the NRM and either creating or reinforcing the Interreligious Council. Thanks for jettisoning the shameful, certainly unchristian, because on that I am sure, but hopefully also an Islamic practice of sectarianism. that had turned the new believers, the faith for which Martyrs died, into hypocrites, professing one thing and doing a totally different thing in practice.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who was also one of the pilgrims, pledged to strengthen the relationship between the Church and Parliament as set by the previous leaders of Parliament.
Of Uganda, especially the 11th Parliament, that we shall build on the strong relationship which our predecessors set or laid the foundation for, especially Mama Rebecca Kadaga, Right Honorable, who is here, and then was taken on by the Right Honorable, the late Jacob Oranya.
Among the over 5,000 pilgrims that celebrated Uganda Martyrs Day at the Anglican shrine included politicians and top government officials such as former Prime Minister Patrick Amama Mbabazi, former Speaker of Parliament and Minister for East African Affairs Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, former and current ministers and members of Parliament.
This heritage, the blood of the martyrs, is a treasure. It's a treasure, it is a heritage that Uganda is proud of. So, because there's this spiritual element, the spirituality.
I am Jim, which means James, and I'm a son of a Reverend Canon, and a husband of a lay canon. So I really appreciate the courage and faith exhibited by the martyrs.
This represents an ultimate sacrifice for those who laid the foundation for the faith which we enjoy. So it's important that we commemorate such a day, and when we can, we should be available.
Putting everything aside, being a member of Parliament will never take me to heaven. But when I serve my God diligently, I believe that one day, one time, I will see the face of the Lord.
This year's prayers at the Anglican shrine at Namugongo were led by the Greater Ankole Diocese that merged about 7 dioceses. Philip Aguta for UBC News at Namugongo.